Alright, come to find out this place has a sewage ejection pump. I want to show you a couple of items here. The pump is full. If you look down in that hole, you can see, hopefully I do this without dropping my cell phone in here, you can see where the 4-inch pipe comes way in, almost halfway into the pump. It should have been cut off right there flush when it comes in, because what was happening between some mop strings and stuff and this piece here, the float on the pump couldn't come up. So I'm going to have to pump this thing out into the yard and cut that pipe off. And then here's your pump. If you'll notice, there's a bunch of mop strings and stuff all over it. It shouldn't be there. This is the float. When that comes up, it turns the pump on. It couldn't come up because of that. Hopefully this pump is still good, but I'm going to have to cut all these mop strings out of here. I got to cut that off and make it shorter for this thing to work, and then put all this pump back together. And then this here is a line from the sink, the bar sink, and they had that run into the vent hole for the pump, which you can do, but I'm pretty sure they probably didn't Studer vent it, so it probably isn't really venting the pump. But the problem is, if you look right here, you can see there's a crack right there where that piece here that plugged into it, when this piece plugged in right here, you can see even on the edge of it where it wasn't glued right, it had broken and come loose. You can see right there that the thing had come loose. You can tell where it's damp around here that the mop sink had been actually leaking out of this pipe because it was broken, cracked. I guess they cracked it to make it fit, but when it ran, it was leaking out into the floor in here, and I guess nobody even knew it. So I've got to repipe that over as well. I'll try to get in close and show you the crack. You can see that's an old crack where it's been leaking out of that for a long time. So we got to cut that and redo it to make that work. Hopefully we can get that put back together. The other thing is that this pump line going up doesn't have a shutoff on it. So it's if it were full of sewage, this is a check valve which only allows sewage to go one way, up and not back down. But the problem is that if you have to work on the thing, you've got a whole pipe here that goes all the way up to the ceiling that's going to be full of raw sewage at all times. And so no way to replace that check valve if you needed to. There was a 2-inch ball valve here, but it wasn't even installed. It was just sitting in the floor. So we'll have to put, I'll put that 2-inch ball valve on there as well when I put it all back together. But for now, I've got to try to pump this stuff out into the yard. I've got a hose run to outside. I'm going to put a pump on it, pump it out. Also, if you look over here under the tub, the hole under the tub is full of water. See, that's water all around that trap right there. I'm wondering if they put this pump together right. You don't want that kind of moisture, obviously, down here in the basement, because you'll get mold. At any rate, that's the deal.